Hey guys, and welcome to the Slideways NASCAR News podcast, YouTube channel, whichever one you want to call it. I am going to try to start doing the YouTube thing again. I kind of went away from it because I couldn't get it. Couldn't get it to work. But doing it on YouTube and then maybe uploading it to Spotify at the same time kind of helps me give you guys a little bit more access. We can kind of communicate more. But what I need you guys to do is to make sure you like and subscribe to this video. The more subscribers I get, I can do lives every once in a while, so that'd be a little bit fun thing to do. Like I said, I'm trying to get this YouTube thing going again. I'm trying to mix in a podcast and a YouTube show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what we're going to talk about today. I know I haven't done a podcast episode in a while, just had some personal things going on. Just kind of put that on the back burner for a little while, but we're back. We're going to, hunker down, lock in, and try to keep this weekly thing going. So obviously this past week we were at the naval base Coronado, the street course there. And as somebody who does not really like street courses, I thought it was a great race. It was very competitive, a lot of passing, and fairly clean for the most part for a street course. Obviously, we had SVG spin out Chris Buescher. How that wasn't a stack up, I will never understand. Then unfortunately, you had the incident where Austin Hill and Connor Zilich got together and had it caused a big pile up there. But other than that, I mean, it was a fairly clean road course race. It was a very competitive, a lot of passing for a road course, to be honest. So I enjoyed the race. The atmosphere was great. The broadcast was fantastic. Obviously, Prime does a great job with their NASCAR coverage. Honestly, if Prime can do that week in, week out, I would be okay with Prime doing the whole season, in my opinion. So, and I know a lot of people are on board with that as well. Obviously, you have those that are like, oh, it's just one more streaming service, blah, 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 blah. Guys, it's like $12 a month. It's not that bad. It's really not. I mean, if it's that big a deal, wait till the next day and you can watch it on Tubi or you can watch it on YouTube. They post the reruns the next day. If that's what you're worried about, you can watch it for free the next day. But personally, I am Team Prime. Give Prime this season. That's my opinion. Give them the whole season. Give them an all-star crew of broadcast and analysts that you can switch out from every once in a while. Pull the best broadcasters and analysts from Fox, best broadcasters and analysts from NBC, TNT, Prime. Just have an all-star crew. Then you know what? That's actually an idea for a fun video I may do at some point. But I thought the broadcast was fantastic. We did get a couple Dale Jr. jump scares in there, which, makes part of the fun of watching the broadcast on Prime. But the race overall was fantastic. Congratulations to Corey Heim for getting his first win. Not surprised at all that he got his first win in his part-time schedule. It was awesome seeing him and Tyler Reddick battle. But I will say, I wish Tyler Reddick would not have just let him keep going. I wish Tyler Reddick would have, I wanted to see more of a battle for the lead, and not just seeing Tyler Reddick, in my opinion, just give the race to Corey Heim. I do know Tyler Reddick's tire went down shortly after that, but I would have much rather seen them duke it out for the win than just to let him have Corey Heim okay, I messed up. I understand he admitted his mistake, and I thought that was very respectful of Tyler Reddick, and that, Tyler Reddick's one of the good guys of the sport. He's not going to be dirty. I understand why he did it, but the race fan in me wanted me to see them just duke it out, because I don't think what he did was super egregious, to be honest. We've seen teammates race each other like that before. I don't think it was as egregious as Tyler thinks it was. It was just hard racing. So I do wish that Tyler would have fought a little harder against Corey, but you know what? Congratulations to Corey. He had a rocket ship of a race car, so good job for him. Bubba Wallace got a second place finish, and to see him so upset and disappointed about his finish, given it was a road course, shows a lot of maturity and, I understand he was disappointed in the penalty that he got and the pit road miscues, but for his road course performance, he should be over the moon excited for it. And I'm sure he is now, going back and looking at it, but you can tell that Bubba wants to win. Bubba's going to win races this year. He's going to win at least one race this year, maybe two. But he had definitely had a very fast race car before the pit road miscues happened. So I understand he's disappointed and upset, but he's got a lot to hang his hat on over this past weekend. So let's talk about points. Denny Hamlin has cut that lead down to 8 points, which I know the points look kind of crazy right now. Ryan Blaney's 133 points back, but you know what? Denny Hamlin proved that no lead is safe. It only takes a few bad races to let somebody back in. Denny Hamlin won 3 races in a row. Look where he's at. So no lead is safe. So and then when you get to the chase, the points are going to reset, and then it's going to get a lot more interesting as well. So and I'm always been on if somebody runs away with the championship, that means they deserved it. But no lead is safe, especially with the way the points are. Wins are important. Every point matters. So it ain't over by no means. If I was a betting man, I would bet my money on Denny Hamlin to win the championship, but I would not be surprised at all if Tyler Reddick or Denny Hamlin did not win the championship. So keep that in mind. It ain't over. We're only halfway through the season, guys. It is not over at all. It only takes a few races to derail a season. So, just buckle up and enjoy the ride. Speaking of buckling up, Chevy looks like they're finding some speed. Carson Hocevar was fast this weekend. Kyle Larson was fast this weekend. Like I said, we're halfway through the season. Once Chevy figures everything out with this new body, I think Chevy's going to be tough to beat. The Fords, I don't see the Fords competing for a championship this year. Just the speed isn't there. Outside of Ryan Blaney, I don't see a Ford driver competing for the championship. I think we'll have a lot of Ford drivers in the chase, but as far as winning a championship, I just don't see it happening. But I think it is a Chevy or Toyota championship year. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Alex Bowman for a minute. I know it's a topic that everybody's beat to death, but there has been some reports come out that Hendrick wants Alex Bowman back. Excuse me just one moment. It's came out, or a couple of reports have come out, that Hendrick wants Alex Bowman back. They said it is his ride. If he wants it, the ball's in his court. So hearing that, I have a couple theories on that. I think if Alex wants to come back, I think he's going to be pushing for a new pit crew, new car chief. I think he wants a whole new team, to be honest. Or he's going to walk from Hendrick and test his options somewhere else. But honestly, I don't know where he's going to go. I think the only other spot that's opened up is, unfortunately, you have the RCR 33 car. I don't even know where else will be open other than maybe front row, and I would hate to see him go there. They're just not consistent with speed. I love the drivers at front row. A lot of good personalities, but it's just the speed isn't there. I don't see Bowman leaving Chevy at all. If Bowman doesn't go back to Hendrick and he still races, I could see him maybe going to Xfinity. I just don't know what Cup team he would go to. But my other theory, and this one, I hope this is not the case, but given what has happened to him over the last couple of years, especially with injuries and concussions, it's eerily similar to what Dale Jr. was going through. So I hope this is not the case, but I could potentially see Alex Bowman retiring early, just with the concussion issues, the vertigo issues, and things like that. Like I said, I hope this is not the case, but I just have a weird gut feeling that something's going on, because if Hendrick wants Bowman back and Bowman hasn't signed on for at least a year extension, there's something going on there. and I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope maybe he's just wanting to find another ride or see what else is out there. But I hope that's not the case. But I have a very odd gut feeling that something like that could be going on. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Moving on. So we are in Sonoma this weekend. We are at the halfway point in the season, not halfway to the chase, halfway point of the season. We kind of talked about the points. Tyler Reddick still leading the points by 8 points over Denny Hamlin. Ryan Blaney is third. You got Kyle Larson is fourth, and Ty Gibbs is in top five. A very quiet top five in points, I may add. I think Ty Gibbs could be a little bit of a dark horse this year. He's ran great this year. The turnaround of that team this year is absolutely insane. So Ty Gibbs is doing a great job this year. So I have some second half predictions. I think that points race is going to get super tight. And I know the points reset during the chase, but I think the chase is going to be super competitive. I know Tyler Reddick and 2311 Gibbs have all been on a tear at the beginning of the year, but I just think the chase, I think, is going to be very competitive because I believe Chevy's starting to figure some things out with this new body. They've shown they've shown some more speed over the last few weeks. So if Chevy figures that out, I think this chase could be wide open. It's definitely a Chevy Toyota championship type year. Like I said earlier, I don't believe Ford has the speed this year to win the championship outside of Ryan Blaney. But my prediction was going to be it's either going to be a Chevy or it's going to be a Toyota driver win the championship. If I was a betting man, like I said earlier, I would pick Denny Hamlin. But I can't call it quite yet. I need to see what happens over the next few weeks before we start the chase, before I make a prediction of who my championship pick is. But right now, if I was a betting man, I'd say Denny Hamlin. But let's go to the next few weeks, and I'll give you guys my pick for the championship. Saw some reports that Dodge could be coming to Cup in 2027, which is a little bit earlier than what everybody thought. Obviously, they would be through Colleague. But that begs the question, other than Colleague, if there'd be another team that would join Ram, who would it be? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know who it would be. Brad Keselowski has already said that RFK is not joining Dodge. Penske had they were Dodge at one point, but I don't know that Penske would leave Ford, because then what would the Wood brothers do? Very interesting to see what's going to happen. But I'm honestly glad Dodge is back, because they were one of the original manufacturers that were in NASCAR. So I think it's cool to see them come back. But it's just interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see who joins them other than Colleague after 2027. All right. So let's talk about Sonoma for a minute. I think, honestly, and I know he hates it, but I think we're probably looking at an SVG win. It's hard to beat him. I think if he wouldn't have wrecked out on Sunday, he probably would have got the win. Or maybe even Connor. Connor was running well before that incident took place. So what I'm praying happens this weekend is I want to see a Connor Zillage SVG showdown selfishly. But I'll give you 5 drivers to watch. SVG, Connor Zillage, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, and I'll say Tyler Reddick. And I know there's a lot of Chevys in there, but the Chevys have actually done fairly well on road courses. You know what? We'll throw Ty Gibbs in there too. That's just a couple of drivers to watch. Ty Gibbs, he was running well at Watkins Glen. Just the pit strategy and things just didn't work out. But definitely, Sonoma is a very technical road course. Not as fast as Watkins Glen, but I definitely hope we get a Connor Zillage SVG showdown, because I think we would have had one of those on Sunday if that wreck wouldn't have happened. We may get a double dose of it, in the O'Reilly's race and then in the Cup race. But I definitely think it's a Chevy weekend. But we shall see. Things are definitely I think things are going to get a lot more interesting over the next few weeks. I think some of the teams may start catching up to 2311 and Gibbs. But that's the beauty of NASCAR, right? We never know. Anything can happen any given week. So that's why we tune in. So hopefully we have a good race this weekend. We have a couple races leading into the chase. And we have the in-season tournament too. It's interesting to see how that's going to roll. The road course got a little wild last year with this in-season tournament thing, so we'll see how that goes. I did do a bracket, but mine was a bust last year, so I'm expecting mine to be a bust this year because you just never know what happens. It's kind of hard to do a bracket style thing like that with NASCAR because it's just so many different things that can happen. So one last thing, and then we're going to jump off here for the day. I am potentially looking into starting a Whatnot show. That's where I get all of my diecast from, and it's just a lot of fun just to go in, hang out, talk to people as well. I have a big trading card collection. I'm probably going to sell most of it. I know I'm not going to make much money off of that, but I do want to start like a Whatnot show potentially. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's just something I'm thinking about. It may be a month or 2 months before it happens, but I think it'd be kind of fun to do. Be another way to engage with you guys. Maybe you can buy some trading cards in it as well, and I may try to get a couple die-casts to sell in there. So just be a little fun thing to do on the side, and hey, stuff is expensive too, so I need a little extra money on the side would never hurt. So we're gonna maybe get that started in the next month or two. I got to get a label printer, that kind of thing. But being in the Whatnot shows and West J Collectibles, ABS Diecast, Big Trox, if you ever seen him, a lot of different Whatnot shows, a lot of fun to be in. Just to be a way for me to make some extra money on the side, but also another way to, we can all engage, have some community. Even if you don't buy anything, come in, hang out, that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know when that'll happen, but I'll keep you guys posted. And I'm going to post this up on YouTube. I'm going to attempt to put it up on the Spotify channel, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I am trying to get the YouTube thing rolling again. But if you could just, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, and let's try to get the subscriber count going. I am so sorry. My goal is to try to get at least 50 by the end of the month. If I can get 50 subscribers, we can do some lives. So yeah, share this with your friends, and hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy the race this weekend, and keep it slideways.